Okay, let me preface my remarks by saying that, you know, we understand we played an FCS team, and but the good thing about it was during the game we got on them, we didn't let them breathe, we kept it there, kept our intensity and focus there. So those were we never let them have a chance really to think they were going to win the football game, and so that was good. Yeah, you always have to put everything into perspective, win or loss, and but from what I hope to accomplish in the game was obviously a victory. We played probably about as physical and fast as we've played since I've been here. Our effort was really good. Kind of played with a good edge. We kept our intensity and focus for 4 quarters. It didn't matter really who went in the football game, the first group or the second group. They played that way. Our communication, our logistics, our tempo, substitution, all those things were spot on for a first game. Very, very good. I was really proud of them for that. Obviously, we screwed up 2 possessions. We fumbled once and took a knee once, or we'd have scored every time. So it was a good night. Offensively, defensively, anytime you get a shutout today, they almost don't exist in college football anymore. So anytime you get a shutout of anybody, you've done something. We played 70 guys in the game. That was great. We got a lot of playing time, valuable playing time and experience for guys. I didn't count up how many guys played in their first Division I game Saturday night, but there were several. We unfortunately lost Trey Garrett for the season in the game, hurt his knee, and the extent of it is not known because his MRI is today, so we'll know more, but we don't feel like he's going to come out of it very good. It swelled immediately, and so not a good sign. I like this week off. We've played a game. Anytime you play Navy, you need extra time to get ready for them. We spent some time in August and working on them in camp, but you need all the time you can get to get ready to defend them. And gosh, Ohio State had August to defend them too, and they gave up 375 yards rushing Saturday. So, I think only 20-some passing. So maybe held them to under 400, maybe right at 400. So 2 years ago, we did a pretty good job against them. We held them to 407, I believe it was, 21 points. We got a turnover down in the red zone, which kept another touchdown or points getting on the board. But we played them solid. I like also the fact that this week we can work on ourselves a couple days here. We'll start on Navy too, but we'll also work on ourselves a little bit, try to improve some of the things that we didn't do very well. Though I really had to look hard to complain about things so after Saturday night, so don't have that problem very often as a coach. And you can always find a few things, but not that many. That was good. So,
Coach, a win like that, the offensive show, defensive shutout, to me that's really indicative of a D1 program. You really feel like this is a statement when kind of you arrived?
No, I mean, I'm not to disagree with you. I hadn't thought of it that way. We played an FCS program that was 2-9 last year, and we, to our credit, we didn't let them breathe. We got on them. We never let them think they had a chance. In games like this, underdogs, the longer they hang around, the better they get, the more confident they get, and we never let them do that. But I hadn't thought of it in those terms yet. I guess I would have thought about Southern Miss or Houston more in those terms than maybe this one. Though I am really pleased with the way we played. And, last year we beat Prairie View 28-7. I mean, it wasn't as near as demonstrative a win as this one was. But I do like the way we handled the game and the intensity our guys played with, and the enthusiasm and the fire and the physicalness. And I do feel like if we can keep playing with those things, that this might be a game that leads to other good things if we can keep doing it.
Coach, you have to work. If there's anything to throw out there, I guess it would be ball security. Fumble, we had a couple of shooting moves, but that's something you're going to work on this week?
Well, always. Fortunately, we only lost one. That one shouldn't have happened. Stedman had one get out, and Ben Ija had one get out. Fortunately, we didn't lose them, so that's to our credit. We only got 2 turnovers. We touched the ball 4 times Saturday night. We only got 2 of them. So when you start looking for things, we'd like to get more turnovers. We're going to need to get more takeaways. And fortunately, we only had one that we lost. But ball security is always a huge factor for us.
Gave them a couple sacks too. Didn't see it. Was that something that was just a big sack, or just good pressure?
The sacks were really Tyler's fault more than the line. The line protected Tyler well all night long. Probably a little bit of a coverage sack, but one of them was in Mayday. He should never take a sack there. I'm not thinking of the other one off the top of my head here, but I felt like really our offensive line did a fantastic job of pass pro all night long, and the backs and tight ends too when they were involved in that. So that was good to see. We'll be challenged more in that. I do think our tempo, which was very good Saturday night, really wore them down. They had cramp problems, and they had some tired players on defense, and we kept the pedal to the metal, and that helped us a lot.
Can you tell us about how you thought your defensive line played, especially the interior guys?
They played good. I thought Rashad Dillon did some good things. When he got tired, he slowed down a little bit. I thought Dallas McClarty did some good things. Corey Berry did some nice things. I think the best way to characterize the evening might be that we got a lot of playing experience, and we got a lot of room for improvement. And the challenge they're going to face next Saturday night is light years away from what they faced last Saturday night. This will really be a we can't hope to slow these guys down unless our front really plays better next week, and this will be a far bigger challenge.
Do you feel like it's a benefit to you, or do you feel like it's maybe a little bit of a disadvantage playing such a difference in opponents 2 weeks back to back, or you still have the bye week in the middle? But
Well, Navy's offense is a unique animal in itself. You don't see it very often. But they're on the schedule, and so where it falls early. 2 years ago when we played them, I don't know whether it was 11th game or 10th game, we had to take a little block every Sunday to work on them just to kind of stay fresh in it. So you add up, 10 or 11 Sundays, 10 or 15-minute block. That's a lot of time that you had to use every week. And in this case, we used a little bit of time in August camp, and now we have 2 weeks. So if you're going to play them, this is as good a time as it gets, unless it's an opener probably. And this is almost like an opener in a lot of ways. So I don't know if there are any advantages playing Navy. I just know we got more time to get ready to play Navy. And you still got to tackle, dive, quarterback, and pitch, and you still got to make sure that you fit on things. And it'll be a different game plan for us defensively, because it will require a lot of discipline to do all those things.
But in terms of like a time left, before, do you feel like that the big victory helps build up your confidence going into it, or do you feel like it maybe sets you up with a slight bit of overconfidence?
Well, I talked to our team about that Saturday night, about handling success, and I told them, I said, people are going to say nice things about you this week, and the best thing I can tell you is that's great. Don't listen to it. Handling success is as important as handling failure. Confidence the line between confidence and arrogance, which you're alluding to, is very fine. And we have no reason around here to be overconfident about anything, other than it doesn't rain on my practices, you know, and they always say that. But as far as playing and games and everything, that can't even exist in our minds. If it does, we're foolish, foolish, foolish.
It would seem like in a week like this, your scout team, or the next 2 weeks, your scout team would take a real big importance just with how trying to simulate what Keenan Reynolds can do and what that offense can do for Navy.
You're exactly right. I ran Navy's offense back in 1991. It's changed and evolved tremendously, but I understand it a little bit, and I really, with the help of the defensive GAs, really have worked with the offensive scout team to try to get them ready to do what they have to do this week. They have been told that if we were fortunate enough to win the game, it'll be because of the way they play in practice. It's huge, huge, huge what they do and how they handle it these next 2 weeks or week and a half. If they don't do a good job, we cannot be ready for them. The scout team always has to do a good job. They get you ready to play the game. But for our scout offensive guys, they've got to bring it and test our guys and show our guys the cut blocks, the reads, the velocity that they're going to come off the ball with, and all those kinds of things this week, or we can't duplicate anything until game day, and that would be catastrophic for that to happen.
Ben was saying earlier that they did a really good job, probably the best at really about cut blocks, and really one of the teams that does that more than anybody. Y'all,
Their offense?
yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Have y'all talked about dealing with that? Or?
Oh, yes. You have to deal with these. If you don't, you're going to have some hurt players. Their whole offense is a cut block offense. From linemen to the slot backs, the receivers, all of them. And if they're smart guys. They know that they might not be able to physically overpower every player, so they use that to their advantage, and they do a great job of it. And if you can't play off of those things, you're going to have a hard day.
Tyler Jones had the second highest quarterback rating in Division I his first week. I know you said he was light years ahead of last year, but did you expect him to be that good this early in the season?
Probably not. I think he was 21 for 25, and he had 2 or 3 drops. So and he threw one away. So other than that, he was about as spot on as you could be. I knew he could be that efficient. I wasn't ready maybe to expect it in the first game. I think he did a great job of preparation, of getting ready to play. He really had kind of an ugly Thursday, but it was probably good he had the ugly Thursday because it made for get that out of the way, and he had a good Saturday. And I think he learned from that. And his zone that he went into as a quarterback was really good, and we'll have more elaborate or more difficult game plans to execute than we had last week, which will challenge him more. But he does thrive on the challenge, so that was good.
Coach, anybody move up in the depth chart in your eyes based on their play? Anybody surprise you?
No, I don't really think yet we have. We might have a move or two in special teams, but as far as offense and defense, really not much there. I do think the fact that guys like Demetrius Woodard and some other guys got into the game really helps you develop a little trust in putting them in the game the next time, which is good, because if you don't feel good about it, then it's hard to put them in, and we may need them here before long, especially losing Trey. That's a safety position. But I don't think anybody lost a job last week, but I do think that the amount of playing time that backups got we didn't play as good with our backups as we did with our starters, which you would expect. You hope not, but we did still play fairly solid with them, and that was good. And so it may give you a little more confidence as a position coach of substitution. Bryce Gunner, Damon Mercer, both redshirt freshmen, went in and did some nice things, and that I know that's going to make it easier for Coach Johnson to say, hey, you do go this time, which was good. And C.J. Best, C.J.'s been around for a while, but that was his first Division I football game Saturday night, so that was good. Those things give you confidence to play those guys.
Did y'all, when exactly did y'all pull off the shot? Because obviously y'all didn't want to show Navy a whole lot of the field, especially when y'all got the lead. I mean, I know you scripted out what you wanted to do early on. Once y'all got the big lead, did you just kind of pull back? Just what y'all had to show, or not give Navy an idea?
We went into the game with a group of calls that we weren't going to use unless we had to. And we never had to. But if we'd have got to the third quarter and it was a 20-14 game or whatever, we were going to do what we needed to do to win the football game. But we would have been foolish to show our hand any more than we needed to win the football game. So that was good that we were able to do that. And a lot of what we ran, they'll see on film from last year, so really any changes we've made are still in our pocket, and that's a good place for them until we need to unveil them.
Did they sort of change the game plan against Navy versus Pine Bluff, where you might slow the game down a little bit, knowing that they're going to, the way that they play offensively, they're going to be able to kind of tire your defense out potentially, how many times they run the ball and the cut blocks that they do, things like that?
Well, I've seen them have a 12-minute, 19-play drive before. I didn't have to live through it, but I've seen it, and I know what that's like. And but I don't think. Obviously, we can change tempos, and we certainly don't want to go 45 seconds, 3 plays and out. That would not bode well for us. But once you make this decision, you go with it. We've made the decision. That's where we are now. We have the ability to huddle and slow it down and things like that. And obviously, if we got into a 4-minute situation or 2-minute situation or whatever it may be, we can start thinking about snapping the ball with 1 second on the time clock. But right now, we're going to keep pressing the issue, and we were getting the ball snapped at around 13 to 17 seconds the other night, and that was pretty fast, especially for us in our first game. But was good. That was really one of the things I mentioned early. So, but no, we're not going to. We got to play our game, and we got to make our game work. And obviously, if we don't, it's going to work against us, which it does in any game plan.
Coach, 2 of the guys, running backs, was pretty big in your team. Nuttall and Gay was hurt. Nuttall didn't play. Can you give us their status?
Tim is potentially going to be ready for this game. Chris has an academic issue, and I think we're going to lose him for the first 4 games because of it, and just leave it at that right now.
Coach, you mentioned a lot of players got to come in because the score got out of hand like it did. Do you have any idea of the players you want to see in positions you might want to see more when the game starts heading in that direction, or is it strictly just down to that chart that we discussed?
Ask me that question again.
When the game gets out of hand, and you can't bring in your backups, do you have an idea of players that you would rather see over some?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, we do. We had a substitution talks offensively and defensively Thursday and Friday, and during the game for how to handle situations. I wish I could have got Fred Nixon more plays. They're kind of a dead heat as who the backup quarterback is, and we were trying to watch the clock and get Fred in so he could get about as many as Connor. And what happened? They held the ball a little longer and we didn't. But we go into every game with a substitution plan, but we have to have the ability to adjust, and we did some of that Saturday night.
So, I mean, Coach, I wasn't there, was the decision made for Nixon to be the third quarterback? What was that?
No, they're kind of in a dead heat. Somebody had to go in first, and we put Connor in first, but no. Right now, both of them played well, and we just got to keep watching them right now. Both are getting experience on a daily basis, and so it'd kind of be a slash thing right now for who the second team guy would be. No, he's scholarship.
While you're not sure what you might get out of Tim or out of Chris, the other two backs for you guys, Terrence Franks and Robert Lowe, both had, really big nights. And it seems like Terrence has really kind of emerged, from the fall to the first game. What have you seen out of him specifically?
I saw Terrence make a block Saturday night. He got into a guy. It was good. Hadn't seen him do that very many times. So that was a real step for him, a real step in the right direction, and it was great to see. And Terrence really has everybody's respect in the organization for his approach to things and how he's worked and what he's done. And Rob is Rob. He just keeps doing it. And we're fortunate. We've got two guys, and I don't even pay attention which one's in the game. Coach Conway does a great job of calling them out to when he thinks they need to be in, but from a standpoint of calling plays, it doesn't matter to me. They're both in there and expected to do what we need to do. And with Terrence improving his blocking, that's more playing time for him, because we can put him in situations where he might have to make that block now.
And is it kind of like whoever has a hot hand kind of thing?
Pretty much, I think so. A running back gets in a rhythm, and you can tell kind of when they get in a rhythm. And Rob was the benefactor of that the other night. He had more carries. He got into the rhythm, and he was in there. Once we started rolling, we weren't going to. You don't want to substitute anymore, and you have to, because when you sub, they can sub, and so you're trying to keep their players on the field and keep coming at them as fast as you can. And Rob was the benefactor of that, and had the nice evening yardage-wise.
And up-tempo offense, when you're running a lot of the way, very fast pace, how nice is it to have several running backs that you can trust on any given possession?
Well, it's big. I've told this story, and you may or may not have heard it. I remember one year we had 3 really good tailbacks at New Mexico, and we were talking and thinking about how are we going to get these guys touches and give them enough time and everything. It seemed a little hard with 3, and by the 4th game, all 3 were hurt, and the fullback was playing tailback. So, and we were in a 1-back set. So you never have enough tailbacks. There's never a day. Those guys take some hits, and they've got to block, and so they're a little bit like linemen. They're going to be in the fray most of the time, and it's huge to be able to keep a fresh one in the game. Somebody breaks off a long run, I mean, we can just get the next guy out there. And we did that. Coach Conway and Coach Johnson did a great job in substitution with the backs and the receivers, and Coach English with the tight ends Saturday night, always making sure we were fresh on the field, even though we were going at a pretty fast pace.
Offensively, how do you feel your team matches up against Navy, and are there any particular areas of the field you plan on, maybe exploiting a little bit?
Our offense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is just watching the Ohio State game, their defensive talent is going to be in the top 2 or 3 teams we play this year. I mean, I was impressed. They run to the ball well. They're obviously very sound and they're smart football players. They fit things well. If there's some things to exploit, I'm not going to tell you about them today. I don't know if there are many. We're grinding on them right now, trying to find some. When you play Navy, they make you beat them. They don't lose. They make you beat them. And that's a great compliment to them and the kind of players they are and their coaching staff. They don't lose games You beat them maybe, but they don't lose games, and they make you earn everything. We will play 12 games this year, and we will not find a single team that will play harder than this team. I can't tell you how many times on tape the play's over and you stop it, and almost all of them are in the picture. They ran, I don't care if it's a 25-yard gain or a 5-yard gain. Their pursuit and effort and chasing the ball is second to none. They're as good as anybody in that regard. And that's, I may show some clips to our defense to show them just exactly how they do that. So they would compete well in our league. They really would.